quick look at 10 of the most expensive Lincoln cents sold during 2020. The first coin to qualify for entry onto the list is arguably one of, if not the most famous single-year type coin from the US Mint. The 1943 steel penny, technically struck from a specifically produced zinc-coated steel. This coin was the end result of a maddening search by the US Mint to find a suitable replacement for copper, which was declared as a strategic resource by the War Department, who needed every spare ounce to produce shell casings and other needed materials to secure victory during World War II. The coin was only minted for a single year, and in 1944 the penny would again be struck from copper, though over 684 million such coins were minted at Philadelphia alone. The current example is tied with only 2 other coins at PCGS for the finest, known at a grade of MS68+, which secured this nearly flawless gem a closing price at auction of $33,600. Then we move on to an evergreen favorite within the Lincoln Penny series, and one of the top Red Book listed varieties, certainly within the modern era. That is the 1969 S double-die Obverse Lincoln cent, one of a number of remarkable coins where the doubling is so pervasive and incredibly bold that it can easily be spotted with the naked eye. This specimen is also a seldomly encountered example that still possesses fully red mint luster. There are only 3 coins known to be finer at PCGS, with its grade at MS63 red from that service. This coin secured a final price at auction of $40,800 at the 2020 Fun Show during January. Now, in the number 8 slot is another coin that should be very familiar to variety collectors and those with an interest in the Lincoln Penny series in general. The 1922 No D Strong Reverse cent is a fascinating example that is only widely known by sheer fluke of circumstance. You see, the coin was created when a severe die clash took place at the Denver Mint. The obverse was salvaged by polishing away the clash marks, although in the process the D mint mark was also removed. The D below the date was meant to indicate that the coin was struck at Denver, with San Francisco using an S and Philadelphia Mint not using any mint mark at all, while the reverse had to be replaced with a fresh die, hence the weak details on the obverse and the strong reverse details. Now, the thing is that in 1922, the Denver Mint was actually the only US mint facility that was striking pennies. So if Philadelphia were, which uses no mint mark if you remember, if they were striking pennies, then we would possibly not even have discovered this variety at all. This is a beautiful example sold as lot number 18 in the Regency 40 auction, housed in a PCGS slab with a grade of MS64 brown, and it sold at auction for $47,000. Considering that the wheat cent was in production of all of 50 years, there really are surprisingly few overmint mark varieties to speak of for the series. 1946, 51, 52, and of course, chief amongst those is the 1944 D over S variety. In this coin, the initial S mint mark is seen clearly towards the top of the D, with almost the entire top curl of the S still displaying. This MS67 plus red coin from PCGS is the finest known coin of this particular variety, only making it all the more desirable and going a long way to explaining the closing price at the Regency 41 auction, despite a slightly later dice date in this example of $49,937.50. While the 1923 S is hardly a rare coin overall, it does only barely qualify as a semi-key date for this series, although it is in mint state grades, and especially for those coins with full red mint luster, that the issue comes into its own, because it is at this level where the coin becomes a conditional rarity, and this example stands at the top of the population report with a grade of MS65 plus red with none finer known whatsoever. It is also a stellar example of the type of incredibly weak strike quality that this issue is known for, especially on the Obverse, where despite the high grade, the details of Lincoln's portrait are really quite poor. Still, this is a known problem for the issue and did not really detract from this Pop 1 coin, as it managed to sell at auction for $58,750. The next coin on our list is the very literal epitome of what it means to be a conditional rarity. The coin's mintage is nothing at all special at 22,580,000 coins struck. They really aren't even all that rare in mint state grades, barring of course for the very top gem level coins. But the 1925S, along with its cousins from the San Francisco Mint, hold the dubious distinction of being overall the weakest struck coins within the entire Lincoln series. And that's really saying something at times. Most coins are so weakly impressed that they have mushy or soft details that it makes you really wonder if the mint had any fresh dies on hand at all for that year. The current example seems to be an exemption to virtually every one of those rules. It has fully red mint luster, and though the strike is not exemplary, it is unusually full for the issue, and far above what you would normally see. Add to that then the top pop grade of MS66 red, and you have a very coveted coin that sold at auction for $62,437.50. The next coin is again a notable conditional rarity, although this coin also has the distinction of being a semi-key date for the series. The 1926 S, Lincoln Wheat Cent, is a coin which is readily available in circulating grades of up to around extremely fine, but in MS65 red there are only 3 or perhaps 4 coins known to have survived, with this example being the former Jack Lee specimen from PCGS, sold during Heritage's August signature auction for $102,000. The 1955 double-die Obverse cent is arguably one of the most sought-after variety coins, especially when viewed within the context of the Lincoln Penny series. It is broadly estimated that somewhere between 3,000 to 4,000 of these coins remain available today, although the vast majority of those remain in brown or at best red-brown conditions today. A fully red coin like this is truly something to behold, with its superb grade of MS65 plus red from PCGS. Interestingly, this same coin was sold 2 years prior by Stax Bowers for $114,000, although on this occasion it was offered by Great Collections and saw a closing price of $124,875. The 1909 VDB cent was the very first of the minor denominations to be struck with the new matte-proof finish, and despite having a mintage of 1,194 coins, it is generally agreed to be the undisputed key for the series. This despite the fact that the 1916 only has a mintage of 600 coins. It is thought that the majority of the 1909 VDB cents were likely either spent or distributed as normal business strike coins when they ultimately went unsold after some time. As today, the surviving population of 1909 VDB matte proofs is only half that of the much lower mintage 1916 coin. The current coin is graded as a spectacular proof 67 plus red from PCGS and was sold at auction in July by Great Collections for $194,062.50. And then so, if the number 10 coin that we looked at first on this list is one of the most renowned type coins, then this is surely one of the most famous, or perhaps infamous error coins to come from the US Mint. As you already know, the 1943 cent was struck in steel to save precious copper, but it seems that a small number of copper planchets were left over and literally stuck in the machinery from the 1942 production run. These were then accidentally mixed in with the newest steel planchets and minted into copper cents for 1943, a coin that was never supposed to exist. Similar copies are also known to exist for all three of the working mints from at the time: San Francisco, Philadelphia, and only a single known copy for the Denver Mint. Today, about 6 coins can be positively identified with the S Mint mark, of which this is the absolute finest known at a grade of MS63 Brown, an extract from the spectacular Bob Simpson collection sold by Heritage in November for $504,000. Subscribe to WNN and activate notifications with the bell icon to know when new videos are released. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching, stay safe, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.